And we should be good. At this exact moment, we should be good. I will leave it to you to test the audio because I don't have that screen up. Bong. Hey guys, I am bothered with this whole we can't hear Knut thing, so give me a second while I get out of the frame and we try and figure this out. Bear with me. This has been way too long in coming and it's really kind of bugging me. Like a lot. I don't want to spend an hour and a half on it, but I'm going to spend a minute on it at least. I assume you also didn't just hear my computer speaking on the stream, did you? Where it's talking about the programs I'm pulling up? Do you hear a little British boy? Alright, let's look at this shit. There is no reason it shouldn't be working, except it isn't working. And say something else. And how about that? We're almost done one way or the other. I'm just frustrated by this because it should be working. And I'm trying to figure out why it's not. I want you guys to hear the lovely and talented Knut. You're not muted. All right, unfortunately, it's going to have to wait. Sorry about that, everybody. We have attempted and failed because apparently I am a techno-phoebe. So, how is everybody in this amazing thing that is not 2020? I am supremely excited to tell you that we survived the year, and it's over. And while there are always the potential for more shenanigans, the fact is, we survived, and it's 2021. Those of us that are here, God rest those that didn't make it, but those of us that are here, we did in fact survive, and it's a new year, which is a bunch of new beginnings, no matter how you slice it. So it's our job to, kind of make that into something worth remembering in the best possible way. Excellent, Doug. And to you, Happy New Year. So, somebody said something in, a good friend of mine actually, somebody I've known for yonks and yonks and yonks of time, Renee, said, of course, did the obvious thing and said Happy New Year and here's hoping for a better year. And I didn't jump on her because I certainly wouldn't want to do anything like that. But I feel like it's important that we kind of go a little beyond that. So this is me getting mildly preachy for a second. Hope's great. You need that. Right? That's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. It's the thing that keeps you going. But you have to do more than hope for something. You have to put in the work. It's not our job to just hope 2021 is a better year than last year. It's our job to make it that way. There's a lot of stuff we can't control. Of course there is. You don't have any control over, God forbid, somebody gets sick or somebody dies from any given number of reasons. You don't have control over some asshole driving drunk, unless you are the asshole in question or you know the guy personally and could have yanked his keys. There are things we can't control. There's a lot more that we can than we tend to think. So don't go out hoping for 2021 to be better. Or at least don't stop there. Go out and make it better. Take control over every and anything you can as far as your own life is concerned and make it a better year. If you don't, then honestly, it's a situation where it's kind of partially your fault that it isn't a better year because you didn't do everything you could. All right, here endeth the lecture. It's something I felt like needed to be said. So I typed it and I said it. Happy New Year. Good God, Michael Sullivan, Mr. Drums himself. Big Daddy, how's it going, man? So in the last 7 days, 8 days, I'm happy to report that the hardcover for The Drums of Unrest is finally out and live and real and ready to be picked up and shipped. And I can't wait to get my own copy because it's been driving me crazy to not have my own book in hand. Not that I can read the damn thing myself, right? Like, at least not hard copies, but it's exciting. And so that's up and running. I am continuing to grab people and recruit people and do things with folks for the soundtrack, so that is going along well. I am still working on music and production for the straight-up blind indie rock stuff. I'm hoping to release at least an EP, but hopefully it'll be a full album before the summer this year. Sooner would be better, but it's a matter of production time and everything else. I am still here in UK in South Gloucestershire for another 3 months, which gives me plenty of time to get work done more or less uninterrupted. So things are progressing at a pace. It's going to be an interesting and kind of a hell of a year. I'm excited. And then I'm back in the States, and I'll be in South Florida, at least initially. May end up going to a few conventions for the book up in Georgia and a few other places while I'm back stateside. But that's the gig. So that's kind of the update and what's good in the hood. This is as much your stream as it is mine, so ask me anything you got to ask, and otherwise I'm going to play a little music and do a little mini set, and we're going to hang out and do stuff. And, no, go ahead. I know your son eats brie. What's going on, Lantern? Hey, thanks, Ben. Ben, you look like your wife, and that's actually an improvement. I'm good with this. Yeah, South Florida, right around the Coral Springs area. It's fitting you're here, Ben. You turned me on to these guys. I'm going to do something I don't do very often. I'm actually going to do a song that isn't mine. I do that sometimes, but it's not common. Though it's becoming more common after, we had Crazy happen. So let's try this. Yes, indeed. On all points. I will do I Will Wait tonight, I promise. I haven't done it in a couple weeks. I'm glad you've had some work done. You are much, much prettier when you pretend to be the Sarah Monster, Well done, Ben. And yes, I'm totally down with talking when I'm back. Well, we can talk before then, obviously, but I land April 3rd. I've got a wedding. My nephew is getting married at the just about end of April. So I land April 3rd. I will be in Coral Springs for a couple weeks, then over to Tampa briefly, and then back over to the Coral Springs area. And that's sort of the plan of attack as of right now. But in honor of the incredibly sexy Sarah, who is being played this evening by her husband, Ben, for some reason, we're going to do this. I will run alone tonight without you by my side. Guess you had a place you had to get to. I know your eyes, I know inside the walls you hide behind, and I've seen the truth inside the real you. Because I know you're lost when you run away into these hate black holes and black mistakes, and taking all my will just to run alone. When are you coming home? Even if the sky does fall, and even if they take it all, there's no pain that I won't go through. And even if I have to die for you, and when all the fires burn, when everything is overturning, there's no pain that I won't go through. And even if I have to die for you. One day the earth will open wide and swallow you inside. The only hell I know is without you. One day when galaxies collide, we'll be lost on different skies. I will send my rocket ship to find you. Because I know you're lost when you run away into these hate black holes and black mistakes. It's taking all my will just to run alone until I bring you home. Even if the sky does fall, and even if they take it all, there's no pain that I won't go through. And even if I have to die for you, and when all the fires burn, when everything is overturning, there's no pain that I won't go through. And even if I have to die for you, when the sun grows cold for you along the way, when the stars won't light to light the way, when you fall away and crash back down below, I'll search the skies for you and I'll follow. I'll be in your afterglow and I'll bring you home. Fall, even if they take it all, I can't see, but I'll follow you, even if I die. And when all the fires burn, when everything is overturning, there's no pain that I won't go through. And even if I had to die for you, Little star set. Just a little star set. So we can ignore everything that was going on in the background. There was some YouTube shenaniganery going on while we work out some of the finer details for the technical fun of tonight. Because at some point tonight there'll be a giveaway, and that involves crazy technical mumbo jumbo. And thankfully we have a Viking to handle all that. Because Vikings are well known to be tech savvy, as everyone knows. There you go. Covers are not a thing I do. Every now and again I break that mold, but as far as anything kind of covery, meh. I have to find the right song, and it has to make sense to me, and it has to feel like something I enjoy singing and playing and so on. But that happens to be one that I do, so there we go. So there, 2 separate covers within a month. You're welcome. That's true. Vikings are known for 2 things, mead and tech. And ne'er the twain shall mix, because if one happens to the other, then the other stops working. And, if tech happens to the drinkers, they stop drinking. So it's much less fun. So here in a little while through YouTube, I'll let you guys know when. If you're not already on YouTube, you'll want to make the jump over at that point. But we're going to give away definitely one, maybe more than one tonight, we'll see. But we're definitely going to give away 1 copy of the first book, my debut novella, The Drums of Unrest, on Audible, which is recorded by the amazing, ridiculous, incomparable, legendary Simon Vance, who is the award-winningest audiobook narrator in the history of audiobook narration, and the voice that's in my head while I'm doing most of my writing. So I kind of feel like I won at life for that. But in any event, I've got a code or 2 that I'm going to give away later on this evening on the stream. So stick around for that. And when the time comes, if you're not already on YouTube, I'll tell you to jump over so you don't miss it. Because we have bots to do crazy tech bot fun stuff too. Bot. That's a fun word to say. And it will be used to make sure that we give it away nice and clean and fairly. And it's not, favoritism, nonsense, and so on and so forth. So there we go. It is. It is a lean, crazy, mad circle. All right, so I know for a fact that we have the brie and toasted baguette eating little baby ranch hanging out somewhere in the background while guitar stuff is going on. What I don't know is if we also happen to have a little baby Britain lying around while music and stuff is happening, or if he is in some other room. Just curious how generational this particular evening's stream is. I can't make this stuff up. We're here. Excellent. Sweet potatoes, huh? I don't have a song about sweet potatoes. I may have to fix that at some point. But fair enough. So last week I tried to do this, and it had been so long since I performed that I forgot the lyrics to my own damn song. And it sounded like shit, which is no good. I feel like that's not a thing that should really be allowed, so I thought I'd do something insane, practice my own music so that I could come on the stream and actually not suck. Novel, I know. So this will end up getting released at some point, probably on the disc later this year, because it's way overdue. I'll probably end up re-recording it too, because the version I have is quite old and dated, so we'll see. Those of you who have been to JPC shows will recognize it, however. Tell her not to go. Tell her not to leave you standing. Tell her that you're glad she knows. Tell her not to cry. Tell her not to leave here screaming. Tell her that you know you lied. Don't let go. 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 You'll be sorry when she's gone. Lay it on the line. Hear her breathe, she's crying softly. Hold her with your words while there's still time. Better find your voice. Better take this one last chance now. Better speak before she's made a choice. Don't let go. 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 You'll be sorry when she's gone. Sorry when she's gone. Sorry when she's gone. Oh. Better find your voice. Better take this one last chance now. Better speak before she's made her choice. And so there is Don't Let Go. Yeah, you'd be amazed. It doesn't happen. So, other than doing the streams like this, I have not performed live, like seriously done a show live. Christ, it's been 1.5 years. Like the occasional one-off couple of people in front of me hanging out at a party someplace, pull out the guitar, do the trick, 3-4 songs, done, right? Okay, fine, great, sure. But that's easy. Like it's only a couple songs and you're done. It's easy to remember a handful of songs. But when you start reaching back into stuff that you haven't performed in a long-ass time, you eventually get to a point where you're like, what was that line again? So, yeah, it does happen. And one of the reasons I'm so glad to have finally gotten the streaming rig up and running is that it's gotten me out of the stage of just recording. Right, so I've talked about this probably to death at this point, between occasional streams, conversations, interviews, and so on. Usually you've got two different kinds of performance when you're doing any sort of professional or semi-professional musicianship. You got the live show, right? And the live show is entirely you feeding off the crowd, feeding off you. You are not allowed to suck live, because if you do, people won't come back for round two. And the only energy they're going to give you is the Jesus Christ get off the stage energy, which is no fun for anybody, right? So you've got to be on point, yeah. And this is why rehearsal matters and practice matters and so on. But most of what you're getting is that weird impromptu live element and the energy you get fed back to you from the crowd. So that's a very different feel to being in the studio. Live, you get one take. Like, you really don't get to just go back and go, wait, I got that note wrong, let me do it again. Wait, back it up, let's take it from right before the chorus. Like, that's not a thing you do live. It is a thing you do in the studio. In the studio, you're only focused on getting as close to perfection as you can. You do take after take after take after take to try and get the best performance you can out of the individual musician for the final recording, right? There is no audience participation. There is no external energy. It is entirely the musician, the singer, the guitarist, the drummer, whatever, alone with the headphones, the cans on his head, focused on the music. That's it. All the energy has to be internal at that point, which is great. It's a whole separate ball of crazy. Streaming is its own animal. It's some bastard hybrid between the two. Thanks, Mike. Losing my voice was a thing for a good long while because I wasn't taking care of it correctly. Wonderwall is a thing that I will eventually do for you, but I do not remember enough of the words at this point to try and half-ass it, so I'll tell you what, I'll add that to the repertoire. It's a song that pretty much anybody with an acoustic guitar probably ought to know, and at one point I did. But I will kind of put some time in the woodshed and pick out Wonderwall again. It's just a matter of relearning the lyrics, really. But yeah, so bottom line, stream is a whole nother ballgame, right? There is interaction with you guys, obviously. Even less so for me because I need, thank God I have Canute here, I need the interpreter, right? I need somebody to read me what the hell's happening on screen. I can barely read what's happening on screen when I'm not focused on a camera. So, yeah. There is no, the crowd cheers, the crowd goes wild, the crowd boos, the crowd dances. You don't get any of that crap when you're streaming. By, choice, by design. So, it's a weird hybrid of performance, which is kind of cool. And it's interesting to get to stretch those particular muscles. So, that's the deal. Okay, got it. Good, because it's a good song, but way overdone is Wonderwall. It's like everybody's one bardic trick. I got a guitar. I know Wonderwall. Like that. I will Lord. He's channeling his inner Viking. He's trying to put an accent onto his words. Yeah, exactly. So, any other questions or any other specific requests before we dive into other stuff musically? Like, I don't want to bore you guys with blah, 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 blah. I also don't want to be like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm here to play music. Love me. Donate to me. Get on my Patreon. Love me. That's boring. It's really fucking boring. I don't want to be that guy. That guy's a douche. mean, what am I talking about? I'm talking about lots of stuff. Yeah, well, there should be a question of some sort. Later on, brother. Thanks for dropping by. Kiss the baby. First, a quick version of the tuning song, and then I will obey as requested, Mr. Sullivan. There we go. Let me grab a drink. So that's why my ears were burning somewhere early December. Got it. All right, so this was my one and only official music video. That's not true. I suppose we did one for free also, but it was certainly the first one. This is the lead-off single from my first full-length album, In Plain Sight, a song called I Will Wait. Rising like the light, daylight's fading into night, shadows roll along where skies were blue. Looks like rain tonight, but I'll make it through. Still I'm standing, I know I'll get through. Time's all I have, and I will wait for you while you're searching, looking for the truth. Keep believing, and I will wait for you. I will wait for you. Must keep going, it's all or nothing. Amen. My pleasure. Always nice when somebody has a request. It does make the job a little bit easier. Excuse me. The quarantine itself doesn't bug me, aside from the fact that it's just bad for the economy and bad for people generically from a mental health perspective. Me, it's not a big deal. It's not a major change. What am I missing? All the Sunday drives I went on, right? Like, that's not a thing. But I do miss getting to go out and play shows. And I do miss getting to go and kind of, shake hands and hug people and do all the things that you're supposed to do and that you get to go do, right? That's something I miss. That was not an everyday thing for me. That was, when I was doing it hot and heavy, that was, once, twice a month. Maybe 3 times for a good particular month, right? And so that was awesome. But because it wasn't a constant thing for me, I wasn't constantly out and socializing on a regular basis, lockdown wasn't that big of a deal for me. It hasn't been a major problem. When I first was going to England, I got a lot of, what are you going to do? You got to self-quarantine for 14 days. And? Who the hell do I go see? Like, what am I doing? What am I missing out on? Again, Sunday drives and, random motorcycle stunts, I guess, or whatever the hell I'm supposed to be doing. Good God, Kelly. Okay. That's a thing. Okay, so apparently tonight I'm still going to do That Sensation, and I'm still going to do As the Crow Flies. Conveniently, I know those songs. I know the guy that wrote them. He's a douche, but he writes some pretty good songs. So yes, I will do both of those. Meh. Kelly, slow bluesy version or upbeat crazy version? So album version from In Plain Sight or stripped down acoustic version from Listening from the Outside? That's the question. The good news, Mike, is you are still here to be unhappy about the bullshit of lockdown and, frankly, lung cancer, which is always a raw goddamn deal. You're here, right? So we get to bitch about it and be unhappy about it. I would rather that than being sad that it happened and it's already gone, right? You're here. That's a start. Well, I don't know if I can take off all my clothes on Facebook. I could probably get away with that on YouTube until they grab me, but... Oh, the song. Right. Yeah, okay. All right, so here's what we are going to do. I'm going to do That Sensation, and then we are going to get that giveaway thing sorted out. And then I'm going to do As the Crow Flies, and maybe one more after that, and then we're going to call it a night. Because I like to keep these relatively short, like no longer than an hour. Because otherwise, why would you come back? Like, you just saw me. I just played for my typical JPC 3.5 hour, entire night, whole back catalog show thing, right? Those are great live in a room full of people. But, the goal is to do these every single week, this time on Saturdays, with the occasional shift in time when necessary. So I like to keep them relatively short. 5, 6, 7 songs, and then we're done. So, we're going to do That Sensation. Then we're going to hop over to YouTube and do the giveaway for a copy of The Dawn of Unions audiobook narrated by Simon Vance, my debut. The sequel to which just came out, but it's going to be a while before it's on audio because, holy Jesus, that would cost me... I could buy a new car, brand new car, almost, for the amount it would cost me to get that recorded the right way. So, I'm getting to it, but it's going to take a while to get drums recorded. But drums is out, at least on text. So... That Sensation. So I did a couple versions of this, 2 in fact. Pardon me. So the original album was the original full band, my original lineup. And it was awesome, and it was huge and full of ridiculous energy and super fast. I actually wrote this song on the subway to audition for a metal band. Super funny, but it's the truth. That's when I wrote the song. I was on the metro, on my way out to Shady Grove, which is in Maryland, And about 3 stops out, the lyrics came into my head, and then the chord progression came into my head. And I got off the train, and I got outside waiting for my ride, who was the guitar player for the band. And he was running a little bit behind, so I ran to a bench, sat down, pulled out the guitar, and finished the song. And nice. So that's how that played out. Song got done, and obviously I didn't stick with the metal band. That's a whole long crazy story of silliness. But I kept the song, recorded it with the full band on In Plain Sight. It was a lot of fun to do live, a lot of crazy energy. Then when I went and was completely solo and kind of did the super extra weird stripped down sort of 90s album version of everything, which is where Listening from the Outside came from, I decided to do this cool stripped back bluesy version. It was just one guitar, my voice, and a little tiny jazz kit with a brush. And that's the other version. And that's the one we're going to do tonight, this nice slow bluesy version. So there is the little story behind that music. And here is that sensation. Please forgive me if I do not see myself. These chains that your ghost makes me wear make me feel like someone else. Crushed beneath my heels, wish that I wished you were here. No words can make this real, no sounds let you repeat. Your light is dangerous when breathed into me. Your name is a killing word that walks right through me. Your face is 100 prayers for my salvation. Your face, oh, there are no words for that sensation. Please forgive me if I take them too much time, yeah. Sometimes our words drive us away without reason or rhyme. I can't make pretty words, I know no poetry. No rights to bring you home, no hope to bring you back to me. Your light is dangerous when breathed into me. Your name is a killing word that walks right through me. Your face, 100 prayers of my salvation. You taste, oh, there are no words with that sensation. Your light is dangerous when breathed into me. Your name is a killing word that walks right through me. Your face is 100 prayers for my salvation. Your taste, oh, there are no words for that And in my insanity of playing music, I dropped poor Knut. That's okay, he's here now. Bored. Bored, I love you in the face. I can't believe you're here. That's awesome. Oh, Kelly, please, thank you for asking. I love that I love that you knew both versions, and I love that of all songs you picked that one. Nobody ever asks for that, which makes me sad because I love that song. It's just typical. People want to hear Dire. They want to hear Crow Flies. They want to hear I Will Wait. They want to hear Don't Let Go or Find a Reason. If we're going live with the whole group of everybody in the same bar or in the same club or in the same setup, then it's almost universally going to be Find Myself, because everybody likes to sing along, right? Every now and again, I will get somebody in the audience who wants to hear When. That's a rarity, but it does happen occasionally. Bored, you're a scary man. The amazing, the lovely, the talented, the incredibly pretty, he looks amazing in makeup, I have heard, and he has immaculate hair. Board Gamer UK. I was lucky enough to get to meet him, as was Canute, in fact, at Manchester for CitizenCon in 2019. And poor Canute, we got completely ripped out of our heads the night before, right? Like, ridiculously so. I apparently turn Scottish when I'm drunk, by the way. And badly Scottish at that. So everybody got stupid ripped out of their head the night before, which is horrible and hysterical. I was drinking scotch, right? And that's fine. I can drink scotch all day. It's not a problem. We ran out of the scotch I was drinking. So Knut comes over and he's like, here's the Norwegian stuff. Because, of course, he's from Norway. And, of course, he brought Norwegian stuff. And he pours me the, 2 fingers or so of essentially Norwegian scotch. And he hands it to me. And I take a sip. And it goes down super smooth. And it doesn't make me feel like I'm, getting crazy drunk suddenly. Like I'm still pleasantly buzzed. It goes down easy. It's easy to drink like the last one. We're good. Next thing I know, it's stupid o'clock in the morning. I'm undressed and in bed, alone, but undressed and in bed. I look over and sure as shit my phone and everything else is where I would have left it. So apparently I put myself to bed, which is good. I have no memory of the rest of the night. I was teleport drunk. Knut, on the other hand, has lots of memories coming in and out of that night. So, he's a little bit on the hungover side the next morning, and we go to CitizenCon, which is this huge, amazing Star Citizen event this year. That year it was in Manchester in UK. And we go, and it's awesome. And we're getting sort of a late morning brunch or early afternoon lunch, and we're sitting down to eat. It's myself, and it's Knut, and it's a guy we used to hang out with, Rode. And suddenly, there is a voice at my left shoulder. I love your work. Board Gamer has arrived. He is sitting on my left shoulder, murmurs that into my ear, sweet somethings, and walks off to try and give the interview he's there to give for somebody else from the staff on site. To which I respond something akin to, I am so impressed and so pleased to finally meet you. I hear you have immaculate hair. And of course, Board is as bald gets. He has a shiny bald head. It's awesome. So that was sort of the moment, and it was cool. Fucking Board, I love you. You're a champ. You're a superstar. That's fair. It ran away. I get it. Thanks. Amen, brother. Amen. Lockdowns notwithstanding. I'm hoping actually before lockdown ends and not before lockdown ends, but before my time in UK this trip ends, I'll get to come down and meet your mate who's doing the vampire stuff too. Stagger down to Hampshire and do the thing at the place with the stuff. But for now, everybody, if you're interested in potentially winning a copy of the audiobook version of The Dawn of Unions, get over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/JP Corwin. Knut, would you put a link in Facebook so people know to go there? This way the bot can register them. Follow that link. We're going to... All right, so everybody that is there, once you are there, type basically anything you want in chat. Even if you've been there a while, type something in chat so it will register you for the giveaway. Just for the fun of it, I want you guys to type in Blind Indie Rock because it makes me smile. So I'm going to do Crow Flies per request because Ben, pretending to be his wife, who is much hotter than he is, has requested it. And so we'll do As the Crow Flies. And when we're done with doing As the Crow Flies, I will give a 60-second counter for everybody to type in chat as necessary. And then we will random do the thing and give away a copy of the book. Maybe we'll we'll definitely give away a copy and we'll take it from there. So, this was a really, really old song of mine. From way back in the beginning, called As the Crow Flies. By candlelight always attracts a certain crowd, and the apparitions that surround me somehow keep the numbers out. Sit down and never mind the rain. Sit down and never mind the pain. Oh yeah, my head is pounding from all the voices locked inside, and all the flickering lights around me, they're like a million piercing eyes, thunderous echoing voices, without a face, without a name, unnumbered questions and no choices. So once again I begin to play the game as the crow flies, born up to the sky, before I realize my mornings pass me by. Smoke is slowly slipping upward, it disappears into the dark. Sometimes the horrors that they tell you can cause a fracture of your heart. Thunderous echoing voices, you'll only learn the things that you don't want to know. Unnumbered questions and no choices. Oh, and you won't see them. They are too busy gazing at the crow fly, born up to the sky, before you realize your mornings pass you by. Sky, before you realize, oh, your mornings pass you by. they see the spirits dance behind my eyes? Do they hear the words I give them? Or will they ever realize? Always love that song. And my producer on that track, Michael Seifert, I hit a note right as we're going into kind of the final chorus, but before we soften down the song right at the end, that little half verse. There's that note that I hit that everybody knows now, right? Everybody knows the song at least. I don't remember hitting that in the studio. So much so that when it was done and I had the final product in hand, I actually called my then producer, multi-platinum Michael Seifert, who's worked on a ridiculous amount of cool stuff. I called him and I'm like, I like what you did with my voice there. I don't know what possessed you to do that, but that was a weird choice, but I really like it. And so now I'm doing it live. He's like, what are you talking about? This note here at I don't know, whatever it was, 3 minutes and 12 seconds. I didn't do anything there. I mean, I added like a chorus. That was it. Like I doubled the voice. That was all. I have no memory of hitting that note. Well, you fucking did. That's why I put it in there. I'm like, okay. I guess I did the thing. Red. Amen. Thank you. All right, we have 60 seconds on the clock. Alexa, timer, 60 seconds.
1 minute, starting now.
Type blind indie with an IE, rock, into the chat on YouTube. And in about a minute, Knut will pull the trigger and make it all happy and randomized, and somebody's walking away with a free copy of the audiobook. That's it. That's it, Kelly. Geez, I can't remember the last time I saw you. It's been ages. Blind jokes notwithstanding. While we're holding off for the timer to do its thing, anybody have any other questions or any specific requests? I think I got one more in me tonight. And that's time. Alexa, stop. Knut, roll that beautiful bean footage. Ha! Kelly, congratulations. You are walking away with a free copy on Audible of The Dawn of Unions. Knut, I assume you can make sure she gets what she needs? Awesome sauce. So, does anybody have any specific questions about the books, about the music, about what's going on with me in the UK, about life, liberty, and the pursuit of insanity, or anything else? For that matter, again, any requests, anything specific anybody wants to hear? Meantime, I'm just gonna sit here and play a little guitar because, you know, I'm able to. And as any of you musicians know, it's how that works. You put it in your hands and you kind of can't not play, right? It's the original fidget spinner is put an instrument in a musician's hand. So by the end of the month, with help from Knut, we're going to be over on Twitch also, which I'm really excited about. There's a whole crew, giant amount of people on Twitch that are just there for music. And that will expose a whole new probably literally a generation of people to blend indie rock, which is exciting. And then there's stuff for the soundtrack, which I get to play with, which hopefully will also expose people into the music, to the books, which is huge. Reviews are still ticking along on drums, which I'm happy about. Still apparently at the 5-star rating, which is crazy, but I'm sure that somebody will come along and complain appropriately about some error they found or some plot line they didn't care for. We'll see. But still, it's exciting. So if you've gotten the book and you've already read it, please consider leaving a review on Amazon and on Goodreads and really any place else you go, because reviews are how that stuff actually sells through Amazon especially, right? The Amazon algorithm works like this. If you get 50 reviews, and they're not all "this book sucks" reviews, Amazon, the algorithm itself, will promote you. If you don't get 50, then, you know, you maybe are going to get picked up, but there's no guarantee. So it ends up making it harder for the book to get discovered if it has not enough reviews. So, review your authors, not even just me. Any other books you read, if you like them, review them. I'm going to try out some software coming up later this month also, which I'm excited about. I've played with it a little bit before, but now I've got the tech to do it. And the software originally was by a company called Lyrebird. It creates vocal avatars, voice clones of you. You read a certain script into the machine, it takes a little bit of time and it processes it, and then you have a text-to-speech voice that is, well, you, which is kind of awesome. So we're going to see how that works. I mean, it's currently set up in a program called Descript, which is video software editing and podcast editing. The way it plays out is if you've got the recording done, not only can you get rid of all the uhs and ums when you're doing a recording for an interview or the like, but if you need to change the way a word is put out and make it less, you know, garbled or unclear, once you've got the voice recorded in, you can literally text type whatever you need to do, and it will come out in the original voice that you spoke in, as if you actually redid the lines. This, for the people paying attention, has the potential to open up me actually narrating my own books. I don't do that now because of the amount of vision loss. It's the same reason I don't fight anymore. But if this software works well enough, there's a potential I can finally actually narrate. Doing voiceover is one thing, right? I can go like any other actor and memorize the lines for a script and get a scene out or half a scene out at a single go by memorizing it. That's fine. But to do it over a couple 100,000 words a book, no. No, just no. The amount of time it would take is absurd. So, we'll see. Kelly, you are also on my Facebook, are you not? Or are you no longer on Facebook? Later. So, then we need to get you appropriately sorted. And so what will happen is the page with Knut will send you what you need directly through Facebook. Because apparently we're having issues sending it through YouTube, because why wouldn't we? Technical difficulties! Yeah, for whatever reason, we can't target people through the YouTube chat. We should be able to, but we can't. That's all right. We'll sort that another time. The good news is we need to, get you what you need, and we can because Facebook. So that's a way to go too. Either one works. All right, I think we'll do one more. Gonna do one directly from the book, and for those who are Blue Card members, you'll recognize this song from all of my Blue Card events and places and things and so forth and so on. But this is also in drums later on in the book. So, final song of tonight's little mini set. This is a song that is originally recorded on my side disc under Corwin Moray. It's a song called Sovereign's Call, released years and years and years ago. But now, with a whole new version and a whole bunch of awesome extra production value on it, I'm excited to say there will be a new version of this song for the Cycle of Bones series soundtrack. So, here is Sovereign's Call, which more people will recognize as Beat the Drums Early, My Brother. Beat the drum early, my brother. Beat the drum, welcome the dawn. Raise your voice, call to arms, all of your fellows. We fight at our sovereign's call. Come, lad, I see your eyes, terror behind them. I know that you fear what's to come. I've seen it 1,000 times, call me not a liar. The hour that heralds the sun. Heretics tell you a soldier fears nothing, and poets give war a refrain. But when the war horn rings true on the morning's first blue, then your heart may be thunder again. Drum early, my brother. Beat the drum, welcome the dawn. Raise your voice, call to arms, all of your fellows. We fight at our sovereign's call. Time is a child running scared of its shadow. It flies though you wish it would crawl. Home lay behind you 1,000 miles distant. Tomorrow you stand or you fall. Look to your captains, your brothers in arms, to your countryman's sword and his shield. Think of you on your home if your heart beats alone, and let that be the power he will. Beat the drum early, my brother. Beat the drum, welcome the dawn. Raise your voice, call to arms, all of your fellows. We fight at our sovereign's call. And beat the drum early, my brother. Beat the drum, welcome the dawn. Raise your voice, call to arms, all of your fellows. We fight at our sovereign's call. And beat the drum early, my brother. Now, that, as they say, is that. If you are not already, please do like. More importantly than that, please do subscribe. You can find me, if you're not already, obviously you're on Facebook, or you wouldn't have found me there, or YouTube, respectively. You can also find me on Insta or Twitter, all /JP Corwin, Patreon /JP Corwin, blah, blah, blah. Go pick up your books, go pick up your music, and stop back by next week, and we do this all over again. Congratulations, Kelly. Thank you guys for dropping by, and thanks for all the electricity.